And welcome back. Before we get to who would win today, we're going to do a little magic, because Dominaria has officially started up as of this week. I'm not going to really go over any of the cards. I'll go over the cards real quick before I get into the headliners for today. There's a buy a box promo called, why don't I just get the actual freaking thing up here? Hold on. Buy a box promo that is a Minotaur Soldiers? Is that it? Come on, where's the name of it? Give me 1 second here. Will this thing just load? Alright, there we go. Come on, a little faster now. A little faster. Oh man, this thing is being so slow with me at the moment. Okay. Fire Song and Sunspeaker. 1 white, 1 red and 4 of any color, 6 mana for a 4/6 Minotaur Cleric. Red instance and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. Whenever a sorcery or instant spell does damage, you gain 3 life, or you gain 2 life. You do 3 damage. That's a really good card. Unfortunately, they made the dumbass decision of making that a buy a box exclusive. And I've been seeing Mark Rosewater getting a lot of, not him not getting flack, but people talking about the problems they're having with that. So, yeah, that's not going to fly over really well, which sucks because that's a really good card. Zephyr Void, land, uncommon. When it enters the battlefield, you scry 1. We know what scry does. Tap out a colorless mana. I can see that being usable. I can see that being pretty usable. Guardian of Koilos, or Kolos. 5 of any color for a 4/4 construct artifact creature. Enters the battlefield, you may return another target historic permanent you control to the owner's hands. Historic is a term used specifically for this set. And they may be in the future. Basically, any artifact, legendary, or sages are historic. What were some of the other ones I showed there? Kicker makes its return in this set. Sapperling Migration, 1 green, 1 of any color for a sorcery common. Create 2 1/1 green sapperling creature tokens. If it was kicked for 4 extra mana, you create 4 instead. That's a solid card in its own right. It's pretty much just a dragon fodder on without anything else. Another kicker card we have is Keldon Overseer, 1 red, 2 of any color for a 3/1 human or warrior with kicker 3 of any color and 1 red, so 4. Enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, gain control of a target creature and it gains haste until the end of turn. That's a usable card. That's a pretty damn, because on its own it's 3/1 with haste for 3. That's playable. You add the control, the takeaway effect, then now you got a pretty solid card there. The sagas are not going to be just rare and mythic rare exclusive. We have the Flame of Keld, Saga enchantment, uncommon, 1 red, 1 of any color. Well, everyone who knows, sagas are enchantments that basically tell the story tell the history of a story that happened on the plane at one point. And they activate when you enter the battlefield. You put a lore counter on it, and at the beginning of every after your draw step, you add another one until you get to 3 and sacrifice. This one, when you play it, you discard your hand. Right off the bat, I'm not really fond of that. Once you get another lore counter on there, you get 2 cards. You draw 2 cards, so you're drawing 3 the next turn. So later game, this could actually be pretty decent. And then when you sacrifice it, if a red source you control will deal damage to a permanent or a player this turn, it deals that much +2 to that player instead, which I can see it being used, but again, usable, but only really the more late game. You don't play this early game unless you have to. Like, you got nothing else in your hand, which, if you're using a red deck, I don't know why you designed your deck that way. Vicious Offering, 1 black, 1 of any color. Kicker is sacrifice a creature. Target creature gets -2/-2, but if it was kicked, it gets -5/-5 until the end of turn. Again, solid card. Great card. That's actually a pretty good card, especially with tokens like Sapperling tokens, absolutely. Phyrexian Scriptures, mythic rare saga card. 2 black, 2 of any color. I explained how sagas go. When it comes into the battlefield, put a +1 counter on up to 1 target creature. That creature also becomes an artifact in addition to its art type. So it pumps up for 1 mana. For 4 mana. Next one, when it gets to lore counter 2, destroy all non-artifact creatures. So you immediately are at least saving yourself at least 1 creature. So that's pretty solid. Excuse me. Exile. When you get the 3 lore counters, sacrifice it. Exile all cards from opponents' graveyards. Pretty sound overall. Homerid Explorer enters the battlefield. It's a 3/3 Homerid, which is crab people. Crab people. 1 blue, 3 of any color, so 4 for 3/3. Enters the battlefield, top 4 cards out of their player's library in the graveyard. It's fine. Academy Drake, 2/2 for a flyer for 3, 1 blue, 2 of any color with kicker 4. If it was kicked, it comes out as a 4/4 instead. It gets 2+1 counters. That's fine. We have Sarah Disciple. Basically, whenever you play a historic spell, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. So pretty much it's a historic prowess. But it's a 1/1 bird cleric with flying first strike for 2, 1 white and any color. 1 of any color. If we're just a 1/1 for 2 flying, it wouldn't really be usable. When you add the first strike, it automatically becomes usable. Then you add a historic on there, that becomes a pretty solid card. Knight of Grace is a bear. 2/2 for 2, 1 white, 1 of any color. With first strikes are right off the bat playable. Hexproof from black, which means just they've done that before with like protection from a certain color. Now they're doing it with hexproof. Knight of Grace gets +1/+0 as long as any player controls a black permanent. So if you're playing against someone hoping they got a black permanent, don't get your hopes up on that. However, if you're playing in the black deck, I could see that being usable. You don't have to equip with anything. Last of the cards that I already talked about previously in another video that I didn't post, so I'm going through these real quick. Urza's Ruinous Blast is a legendary sorcery. Now, the way they determine the legendary sorceries are going to work is you need a legendary creature on the field or a planeswalker, which is actually also legendary now, because of the new legendary rule for them. 1 white, 4 of any color, exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. So you'll basically keep any legendary creature or planeswalker. Because of the way legendaries work, it's going to be a little tough to figure out how that plays, but I'm down to see how it works. I'm down to see the other ones. So now we get into the actual new stuff. So now we get Denitha Caspian. Oh God, Capashen. Denitha Capashen Paragon. 1 white, 2 of any color for a 2/2 human knight, legendary creature, uncommon. First strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Ores and equipment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, assuming the ores and equipments are pretty solid in this set, which I'm pretty sure the equipment artifacts are going to be decent, given the nature of this set. This card on its own, as a 2/2 for 3 with lifelink, vigilance, and first strike, that's great. Add the ore reduction and equipment reduction. I can find a couple of nice spot decks I have for that card. So, yeah, that should be fun. We have our white rare saga, a white rare saga. And actually, we have the common and rare. So we'll start with the uncommon first. We have Triumph of Gerard. 1 white and 1 white, 1 of any color for a saga enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, oh, this is interesting. When it enters the battlefield and on the next lore counter, it gets the same effect. Put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control with the greatest power. So essentially, you're going to pump up stuff on the field with the first 2 lures. Then, when you get to the final one and you sacrifice it, target creature you control with the greatest power gains flying, first strike, and lifelink till the end of turn. I dig this because sagas aren't legendary from everything I can tell, which means you can have multiple copies of this on the field. This is messed up, actually. Oh, I love this card. Let's see what the rare one looks like. The rare one is Fall of the Thrawn. We have okay, this one's a lot more expensive. Saga enchantment, 5 of any color, and 1 white for 6 mana altogether. Rare. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all lands. And then when you have a lore counter on, put the next lore counter on it, and then you sacrifice it for the 3rd one. Each player returns 2 land cards from their graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, it's destroy all lands. Okay, so destroy all lands. That's weird. Maybe you can design your deck right for like a white weenie deck, like really small guys, and they don't have that. Maybe that could work in your favor, but that's a little odd because I find that one odd. But let's see here now. The mythic rare one, History of Benalla. The thing about Magic is I actually know a lot of Magic lore, except for a decent part of Dominaria's history. So a lot of these names are going over my head, and I know a decent amount about Magic. But mythic rare, 1 white, it should be 2 white and 1 of any color, so for 3. On turn, when you bring it out, and on the second lore counter, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Okay. Then when you sacrifice it for his 3rd, knights you control get +2/+1 until the end of turn. Assuming they stay alive, it's all. That's honestly, if you're in a night deck, yes, because there's clearly going to be a lot of night creatures in this deck. I mean, or this set. I mean, I've already seen 2, so we'll see how that plays out. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on that. Let's see. Merfolk Trickster, 2 blue, a 2/2/2 Merfolk Wizard. Flash. When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. It loses all abilities until the end of turn. Yeah, that's fine. It's decent. I don't know if I'd use it, but it's not in my actual decks in like the play release or the sealed. Yeah, I'd use it. Optic gets a reprint. It's got Tefir on there. Cast down 1 black, 1 of any color, destroy target non-legendary creature. Seeing as non-legendary creatures are plentiful, that shouldn't be too big a problem. But this is going to be a pretty legend heavy set, so we'll see how that plays out. Speaking of legends, Zahid, Jinn of the Lamp, or Djinn, but it's Jinn. 2 blue, 4 of any color for a 5/6 legendary Jinn. I like this. I do as I please, little Moro, but do go on about your wishes though. They amuse me to no end. Now, you may pay 3 of any color and 1 blue and tap an untapped artifact you control rather than play this spell's mana cost. So essentially you can pay it for 4. Flying, and it's a flying 5/6. Yeah, if you use it with the right combination of cards, it's a pretty solid card. And then there was a dual. There were 2 cards spoiled that are basically twins of each other. One is a red card, it's a red spell. Wizard's Lightning, 1 blue, 1 red, 2 of any color for an instant, uncommon. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a wizard and deals 3 damage to any target. Wow, to any target. That's interesting. That's interesting wordage. I'm guessing they changed that now, so now it's any target instead of target. That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much lightning bolt as long as you control wizards, which wizards are another big thing in Dominaria. That I do remember. So yeah, and it's a solid card even without it, honestly. Then Wizard's Retort is the blue other side of that coin. 2 blue, 1 of any color, costs 1 less to cast if you control a wizard spell or wizard counter target spell. So essentially, you got the blue, you got the red mage, and they're doing stuff. Goblin Chain Whirler, I'm assuming this is pretty much confirmed at this point. 3 red of any color, no, 3 red of any color. 3 red for a 3/3 first strike Goblin Warrior. When it enters the battlefield, deal 1 damage to each opponent in each creature and Planeswalker they control. Honestly, as long as they got small stuff or you got multiples of these, that's a pretty solid card. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good card. Let's see here now. And I know that's actually a reprint as far as I know. Land of World's got sick art reprint. I mean, it's a reprint. Add 1 green to your mana pool. It's Land of Worlds. 1 green, tap for 1/1. Land of Worlds is like OG Magic. But the artwork, holy crap! When I saw this artwork before, you can look it up. But it's just it's like a demon, like almost like evil elf just holding the blades in front. I'm like, jeez. Land of Worlds is always great, so you can't go wrong with that. Steel Leaf Champion is an elf knight with 3 green and 5/4. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and it's a rare. It's also a promo card. I'm wondering if we're going to get more than just that in terms of, like, because we have a red triple colored card as well. I'm wondering if we might see other triple color. Well, you know what I mean. Its cost is 3 of the same color is what I mean. So that's interesting. Shana, Sisei's Legacy. Is a human warrior, costs 1 green, 1 white. It can't be the target of abilities your opponents control, and it gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. If you can get a lot of creatures going, great. If not, not so great. Because otherwise, it's just going to be a 1/1 that can't be targeted. So then we have our actual first. Well, and here we go. Making sure about something here real quick. Yeah, okay. The Chandra Bold Pyromancer is the one of the not buy a box promos, but and this Tefir is actually okay. So everything past here is actually from the Planeswalker decks. So we have Tefir Timebender is 1 white, 1 blue, 4 of any color for 5 loyalty Planeswalker Tefir. +2 untap 1 target artifact or creature. -3 you gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. Or -9, take an extra turn after this. Honestly, that's a pretty decent card. It's not bad at all, actually. Temporal Machinations. 1 white, 1 blue, 2 of any color for a sorcery. Common. Return target creature its owner controls to his hand. Control an artifact. Draw a card. I like the art because there's this Cabal agent trying to like attack, and Temper just kind of being dick like, nope. With his because he's a temporal mage, he's a time mage. So yeah. Naibi Faithful Healer. 1 white, 1 blue, and 1 of any color for a 2/2 human cleric. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for engrave it for a card named Tefir and reveal it and put it into your hand. Shuffle your library. This card has no purpose whatsoever except to find you your planeswalker. Wow, that's dumb. I mean, at least give it like it's a white blue. At least give it like lifelink or vigilance. That's dumb. At least to me. Tefir Sentinel is a artifact golem 2/6 for 5 of any color. As long as you control Tefir, a Tefir planeswalker, it gains 4 plus 4 plus 0, so it becomes a 6/6. Okay, it's whatever. Chandra, Bold Pyromancer, 2 red, 4 of any color. For a legendary planeswalker, Chandra. Add 2 red, plus 5 loyalty. Plus 1, add 2 red. Red. Chandra's Pyromancer deals 2 damage to target player. -3, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. And -7, it deals 10 damage to target player and each creature and planeswalker they control. It's about as good as any of the other Chandras, which says a lot, which means it's really not that great. Chandra's Outburst, 2 red, 3 of any color for a rare sorcery, deals 4 damage to a target player or planeswalker. Search your library or graveyard for the planeswalker card, yeah. Automatically, that becomes far better than that legendary because it actually does something. So, yeah. Carpulsian Hound. 1 red, 3 of any color for a 3/3 hound. Enters the battlefield. If you control a Chandra planeswalker, it deals 2 damage to any target. If you control a Chandra planeswalker, great. Otherwise, not so great. And then last but not least, I mean, we have Timber Gorge and Meandering River, but they just tap for the mana. And they do nothing else. Pyromantic Pilgrim, 1 red, 2 of any color for a 3/1 human wizard with haste. It's passable. So, caught all up on that, and I was able to go under 20 minutes. So I'll be back later today with who would win. I'll be keeping my eye on all the magic goodiness that comes out. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Just looking at my throat. It was like, do I have a bump? No, that's just my windpipe. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you folks a little later. Later, folks.